We said earlier, I mean, the Saints defense is just here.
Turn
your season
just,
around,
yeah.
and Cam Newton couldn't even do it against the Saints defense. So
well,
I don't know, man.
Something's up with Cam. I don't know what it is.
To say the least.
I hope he gets it back. All right. Well, speaking of terrible quarterbacks, Eli Manning was having.
Welcome back to the Expansion Pack, where we talk about video games, comic books, anime, and more. I'm Andy.
And I'm Reagan. Let's get into the news.
And another fortunate and unfortunate esports news, the North American professional Counter-Strike global team, Cloud9, is losing two of their pivotal players. Stewie2K and Skadoodle have announced they would be leaving the team for two reasons, it seems. Stewie announced that he has left the team to join SK Gaming, the team we discussed last week that Taco had left from. It was a huge shock to a lot of NA fans, but we hope success to the pro. However, for Skadoodle, he tweeted saying, "Currently inactive with CSGO, the future is uncertain, and that is all you guys. And that is it, all you guys. Thank you, sorry." So we might not see much from the opera for a while, but in lighter news, the newest member to join the team is FNS, and we will be waiting for their announcement for their 5th player. So good luck to all parties involved, and let's have a good season.
Kevin Pereira is back in gaming news, but it isn't under a good light. This time around, the former host of G4's Attack of the Show has been caught manipulating view numbers for his stream show, The Attack. The last Friday, Polygon had spoken to Pereira about the issue, and they were given a lengthy story. Facing the pressure of keeping the show alive and his crew paid, Pereira decided to make use of view bots to inflate his view counts. Upon being found out, Pereira shut down everything, stating the brand is pretty much done. This means everything under the Attack brand has been deleted. From their Twitch channel to their Patreon page, It's gone. Pereira admits to taking full responsibility and expresses guilt for his actions, promising to help his crew find jobs. We highly encourage you to check out Polygon's full story on their website.
That's crazy. Well, let's hope for the best, I guess. Fortnite has quickly become a worldwide phenomenon, with the game garnering 3.4 million concurrent players. Unfortunately, Fortnite has bound to step into controversy at some point, and it's starting with the famous Fortnite player, Tyler Ninja Belvins. During a live stream, Belvins began rapping the 44 More by Logic. In the middle of this, Belvins fumbled the lyrics and dropped a racial slur, more people have been led to believe due to the song's phonetics. However, way you see it, this has led to many asking Twitch to clarify their guidelines on hate speech and offensive language. Polygon reached out to Twitch on specifying the guidelines, and the representative stated, "When reviewing reported content or activity, we will consider its intent and context. No further updates have been made at this time."
A couple of weeks ago, a LEGO Incredibles video game had been leaked by instruction booklets of LEGO Incredibles toy sets. Last Wednesday, moments before the show, a trailer for LEGO Incredibles was released by publisher Warner Bros. Interactive. And we finally have details on what the game entails. The LEGO Incredibles video game will follow the story of the first movie as well as the upcoming sequel. As one would expect, the game will not be released until the same day Incredibles 2 hits theaters this summer. Yeah, makes sense. You can pick up LEGO Incredibles on June 15th, 2018 for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
The Grand Theft Auto series has had a history of controversy, often being the center of blame for crimes by politicians and angry parents. However, one of the most recent controversies comes from Lindsay Lohan, who filed a lawsuit against Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of GTA developer Rockstar Games. In 2014, Lohan claimed that the GTA 5 character Lacey Jonas is based off her, and that her likeness was used without her permission. Despite having her case thrown out by the New York court in 2016, she recently appealed to have her case looked at again, with a ruling occurring this past Friday. The court ruled that Jonas' character lacks any resemblance to Lohan, and the case was dismissed. Another reason for this ruling was stated by the judges was that the game is not considered by statutory definitions as advertising or trade. And so ends another chapter in silly GTA lawsuits. Oh, Lohan.
There will be more.
There will be more.
If you've been wanting to get your hands on a PSVR but hesitated because of the price tag, you're in luck. Sony has issued a permanent price cut for a PSVR bundle where you get the headset, a PlayStation camera, and a digital copy of Doom VFR. As of last Thursday, you can purchase the bundle at $299, a $100 cut from its original price.
Pretty good.
Judging from this move, it seems Sony is confident in its success in moving units. Since launch, the PSVR sold more than 2 million units and accumulated 150 games in its catalog. With another 130 games scheduled to release by the end of this year, given that this is now the second price cut made on the headset, maybe PSVR has a brighter future than we thought. Maybe.
Maybe. I might buy one. Alongside Star Wars Battlefront 2, Warner Bros. Middle-earth Shadow of War was another one of 2017's most controversial titles. The game launched with a microtransaction system where players could purchase crates in order to increase their army and gain new allies. In other words, it's an important mechanic in the $60 game that added more price tags. However, Warner Bros. Games has announced that Shadow of War will be rid of the microtransactions permanently. On the official announcement page of Shadow of War's website, the publisher stated the following: while purchasing orcs in the market is more immediate and provides additional players' options, we have come to realize that providing this choice risks undermining the heart of our game, the Nemesis system. It allows you to miss out on the awesome player stories you would have otherwise created, and it compromises those same stories even if you don't buy anything. Simply being aware that they are available for purchase reduces the immersion in the world and takes away from the challenge of building your personal army and your fortresses. And so, like EA and their adjustments to Battlefront 2, Warner Bros. Is allowing Shadow of War to be a video game. And
incredible.
Wow. And it only took 7 months for this to happen. These changes will go into effect on May 8th, 2018, and the in-game market will shut down on July 17th, 2018.
So if you want to pay your way in, do it now.
Put all your money into it right now.
In a more somber piece, we just wanted to give our thoughts to professional League of Legends player Doublelift. He lost his mother in an awful attack over the weekend, and we wish the rest of his family and him can find a way to heal. We are with him.
And also another somber news, we wanted to give our condolences out to everyone at the YouTube's headquarters in California. There was a shooting that happened yesterday, and we just wanted to give our thoughts and prayers out to everyone. But that's all we have for news this week. Stay tuned for Matt and his comic segment.
Stick around.
When you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not far. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans.
By sports fans.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Don't talk though. I want them to see the whole.
Hitting the field. We cover football. We cover basketball. And so much more.
He's out. By sports reporters. And Meech.
What up? Watch the show and read the sports blog. Hitting.
Field.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF apps today.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Expansion Pack's Comic News. I'm Matthew Salavaria. Let's get started. Our first story today is about the up-and-coming return of Marvel's first family. Marvel Comics has officially announced the long-awaited return of the Fantastic Four. The last series run was canceled in May of 2015 due to the controversy regarding Fox Studios' movie ownership over the characters. Since the cancellation, the last time we saw the four together was during Marvel's Secret Wars event in 2016, which rebooted the entire universe. Following Secret Wars, the only members of the four to have been seen at all are The Thing and the Human Torch in Marvel's 2-in-1 comics. All while Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman's whereabouts have been completely unknown. But now, with writer Dan Slott having completed his 10-year run on Amazing Spider-Man, he will be bringing the team back to life. We will finally find out what happened to Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman as the team comes back together August of this year. Switching from Fantastic to mutants, we have the announcement of the next major X-Men event, Extermination. And guys, this is about to get a little weird, even for comic book nerds. Extermination will mainly feature the 5 original X-Men, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Iceman, Angel, and Beast. These X-Men are actually time-displaced versions of the present-day X-Men brought from the past by the present-day Beast to fix the present. Say that 3 times fast. All this originally occurs back in 2012's all-new X-Men. Since being brought from the past, these younger X-Men have refused to return to the past. But that problem may finally be resolved. The text at the bottom of the cover reads, "Exterminate the past, eliminate the future." If you got lost in some of that past-present talk, just know it sounds like someone is coming to get these young X-Men in order to do heavy damage to the timeline. Marvel's press said they would reveal more details about the story during their panel at Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, April 6th. And now for you Harley Quinn fans. We have news that everyone's favorite cosplay character is going to end up meeting the infamous Granny Goodness. And for those of you that don't know, which is probably most of you, Granny Goodness is in fact not a good guy. In fact, she's a villain loyal to none other to Darkseid. Granny Goodness leads the Female Furies, a group of Darkseid's top generals, very similar to Thanos' Black Order. Looks like Granny will be offering Harley a spot among the Furies. As for where the Furies will take her, little still is known. Everything will be revealed for this character in July's release of Harley Quinn, issue 45. And now to the weekly recommendation. With this return of the four, it would be fitting for us to look back at one of their greatest storylines in Fantastic Four Volume 1, the Galactus Trilogy. Written by the man that started it all, Mr. Stan Lee, and penciled by the equally legendary Jack Kirby. This story shows the first appearance of the Planet Eater Galactus and his herald, the Silver Surfer. The Watcher comes to Mr. Fantastic to warn him of the coming threat and that they must try and hide Earth from the Surfer and Galactus. As you would guess, that doesn't seem to work. No spoilers, as I would say you have to find out what happens next for yourself. This story truly shows why Mr. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby are held in such a high regard as they are. This story was adopted for film in the form of Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, granted adapted extremely poorly. This story is seen as so synonymous with the Four that if Disney, with this Fox buyout, ends up bringing the Four into the MCU, they will certainly use this story at some point and hopefully do it justice. Now to our pull list for today. We have Batman White Knight number 7, Cyborg number 21, Harley Quinn number 41, Superman number 44, Avengers number 687, X-Men Gold number 25, Black Bolt number 12, Marvel 2-in-1 number 5, and Spawn 284. That's all the time we have for comic news. We'll be back with the expansion pack right after this. Stick around.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not fun. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans.
By sports fans.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Don't talk though, I want them to see the hole.
Hitting the field. We cover football. We cover basketball. And so much more.
He's out! By sports reporters and Meech.
What up? Watch the show and read the sports blog. Hitting.
Field!
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Expansion Pack. Today we have a very special episode where we're going to be discussing something near and dear to my heart, tabletop gaming. I have a very special guest on the show with me, Phil. Welcome on.
Hello.
So you work with students doing a nonprofit tabletop gaming based organization.
Yes, I do all of that.
Do you want to just explain a little bit
Sure.
about it?
So we're called Hero Spark. We teach kids how to learn through unplugged games and gaming. Games like Dungeons and Dragons, voila. Warhammer, other card games, board games that have strategic skills baked into them already, and then we infuse those games with social emotional skills so our kids can understand that learning is a lifelong fun endeavor.
Okay, awesome. So can you just tell me a little bit about your history with tabletop gaming?
So the whole reason I have Hero Spark is actually because of my past. When I was a kid growing up, I was constantly put in these like language arts remedial courses. I was told I wasn't really good at language arts, reading, things of that nature, and it was ironically games that allowed me to learn critical skills like that. So it was games like Dungeons and Dragons, EverQuest that taught me how to or develop a love of reading and writing. It helped me, you know, make some friends when, you know, it might be hard to believe, but I was an awkward teenager growing up. So it gave me a group of friends to like hang out with. And so my past really, it was always about gaming. Even when I was here in college, I was playing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, World of Warcraft, things like that. So.
Right. So you came to UCF, right? So you're a UCF alumni. Is it interesting, nostalgic being back here?
I actually got here early so I could walk around campus again, and it was emotional kind of coming back because I don't have a lot of reason to be here often. So I walked around. In fact, this building I took so many history courses in. This was my primary building. Yep, the comm building. So I knew exactly where to go to find this place, and it feels nice to be back. I love UCF. I love my time here. It was really important for me, you know, in my formative years, and it feels nice to be back.
So, talking about being in the community and having been here throughout it all, what need did you see in the community of Greater Orlando when you created Hero Spark?
Right. I think the main need is we're at a point where most teenagers don't know how to actually communicate face to face. Their eyes tend to go downward. They feel uncomfortable with who they are themselves, and they're at an age where they're just developing their identities. And unfortunately, they're really good at developing their identities online, but we have to kind of work back, and it seems weird to say, but we have to kind of teach kids how to build their own identities again in real life too. I call them screenagers. We're at the age where we have kids that are more likely to have friends online than in real life. They don't necessarily know how to talk to people, not to say correctly, because certainly when you're speaking online, you have different euphemisms, things, but that's bleeding over, I think, too much in the real world right now. I think even like bullying and trolling, if you will, where it's,
it's normal online.
Yeah, it's normal, whether it's right or wrong, it's normal. I think that now bleeds into real life, and I think that needs to kind of stay put. But I want to get back to teaching kids how to have social skills, and I think that's our greatest need in Orlando, especially my nerd kids. I want to make sure that they know how to be themselves and be happy for there. Yep.
Definitely. And coming off of that, you talked a little bit about the teaching possibilities within tabletop gaming.
Yeah.
What aspects, other than obviously the world building skills and understanding the reading writing, what other aspects do you see other than those things?
Right, so I think there's two big ones that as our programs tackle, Hero Spark tackles, is storytelling and math skills.
Yes.
Storytelling's really important. I think there's a big distinction between writing and storytelling. Obviously you need storytelling for writing, but you don't necessarily need writing for storytelling. We teach Dan Harmon's Story Circle in all of our programs, which has been a really effective way to kind of just teach kids how to plot their adventures forward. Initially when we started, we were kind of like, well, this is how you build an adventure, and we would get our kids learning how to be GMs at an early age. And they were struggling, and we couldn't really figure out why, because we had a toolkit for them. You would place this dungeon here, you would get these monsters, and boom, you would have an adventure. Well, that's not it. It's the big part that, ironically, we were missing was the storytelling, which I think is the most important part of any Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, what have you, role-playing game. It is the shared narrative between the GM and the players. And so once we identified that, which is sort of embarrassing to say live, we were able to kind of revamp our programs to be teaching more of the story circle, and we just had a spring break program using that for the first time, and they got it like that. And we had some really great stories with some really great games for the week, and it was a lot of fun. So we're going to be doing that this summer as well.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you want to tell me a little bit about summer camp programs?
Yeah, sure. So we have the entire month of June blocked out for summer camps every Monday through Friday at the Downtown Recreation Complex. So if we have any UCF people out there that love gaming, we always need volunteers. But we'll be doing that for the entire month of June, 1 to 5 p.m. So you don't even have to get up early.
Okay, awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. So for Hero Spark, I know you talked a bit about the storytelling aspects, but do you also deal with the moral questioning? Because I know there's a lot of what D&D is building your character and understanding how that character would react and work within that situation. Do you tackle that a little bit?
All right, absolutely we do. And I think what's cool about that, especially for kids that are more shy, or even we work with a lot of kids on the autism spectrum, it allows them to be themselves without the pressure of being themselves, because they can hide behind an avatar, their character, that allows
kind of like
them,
they do online.
Precisely. In fact, that is really where that comes from. In fact, all these MMOs originates from pen and paper D&D. And so they get this avatar where they can be whatever they want to be. They can test, essentially beta test emotions, right? And that allows them to be more comfortable in a social setting, and it really is, it hardwires their brain into a language they can understand, which is gaming. We have a lot of success with kids on the autism spectrum with our programming, and it's mostly because of our D&D. It's our platform that they get and they understand. So it's really fun, and I'm sorry, I missed the other half of that question because I had a really good point.
So we were talking about storyboarding and moral questioning.
Right,
so,
ethics.
Yeah, ethics.
So the other thing about that is I don't actually punish kids if they have unethical decisions in the game. If they want to rob someone, let them do it. It's, you know.
Right. You never say no as a DM.
No, you
never
don't.
say no. You let them try.
Yes, and then there's yes, but is what I say. So if they want to do something ridiculous, sure, but you have to make this role, precisely.
It's a world within a world. So you definitely, if you want to rob someone, you can, but you're gonna go to prison.
And of course, we don't advocate that with our games. I'm not teaching my kids how to be thieves. Just want to make that clear. But exactly, there are consequences to all their decisions. So if they want to kill off a really important NPC that I spent hours building, there will be pain.
Yep, they can try, definitely, but if they do, consequences. So it's teaching real world consequences in that sense too.
In a safe location to fail. Let them fail, because failing, I think you learn more from failure than anything else. So we want to get them comfortable with that as well.
Definitely. So I want to get into a little bit, what's the biggest thing that you've learned from your students? Because I know that students teach you things more than you can ever teach them, really.
It's funny that you mentioned this, because I feel like it just happened recently. I had planned out, we're running Storm King's Thunder over at the library program right now, which is a really awesome D&D manual for 5th edition.
Yes.
And so I had everything planned out for them. Everything was ready to go, and all they had to do was, without many spoilers, they had a staircase they had to go up. And that's all they had to do, and the rest of the adventure was going to just move on fine. And they chose not to. They were like, "No, we're not doing that." And it was like, okay. And it, if anything, if the kids taught me, it's, patience with them. It's also improv skills. And that's a useful topic for any GM, whether you're working with kids or adults, because
They'll
adults
always do something that you're not expecting.
Yep. And so with that, it was like, oh no, like, okay, so what am I doing now? And we ended up having to do a whole different adventure and planning it. And really the important part of that is just go with the flow.
Go with the flow. You can always, it's easily transferable to most of the stats and stuff, so you can just move it along.
And that's the most important thing that they've taught me, is really just relax and go with it. You don't always have to be super organized or super prepared, because they have fun anyway.
Yeah.
I always worry, I'm like, oh, they're not going to have fun with this now. Are they ruining this for themselves? That really stinks. Or am I screwing up? No, they have a good time, and that's the best part about it.
That's the best part, yeah. So do you want to tell me a little more about your summer programs, and a little more about how UCF students can get involved?
Absolutely.
What roles they can take on? Yeah.
So, like I said, downtown recreation complex. It's just about a 20-minute drive from the UCF campus, not UPS campus. We're throughout the entire month of June. It's 1 to 5 p.m. If you're interested in signing up to help us volunteer, you can be a positive role model for our students by just playing with them. You can also be a GM, which we always need. It's always great to have extra perspective from adult GMs for our kids. Go ahead and give me an email, phil@herospark.org. You can also find us on our website, herospark.org. We're always looking for volunteers for any of our programs. And I really would offer for you guys to come by and see what we're doing, because it's great work and it's a lot of fun.
And I know during the fall you do some tutoring stuff as well.
So we have our After School Adventures program that actually runs the entire school year from September to May. So we're right in the middle of it. That's at the downtown library from 3:30 to 5:30. So if you have time for that as well, again, always looking for volunteers that want to help with a ton of homework, and then we get to do some gaming as well. It's a lot of fun. It's a mixture of academic and play. So. Which
D&D always is, really.
Yep.
Every single time I play, I learn something new, either about myself, my characters, or if I'm a player, my player.
And it allows you just to be creative, and I think that's the cool part. I don't think as adults we get often a chance to be creative, and I think for anyone at any age, it's really fun to just let your imagination kind of just go and enjoy it. So
it is.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it, especially getting an input with someone that's been playing D&D for forever.
Forever.
So.
Ouch. I'm joking.
Yeah. But definitely thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me.
I look forward, maybe I'll come out and see what Hero Spike's all about. Definitely. It sounds like so much fun.
It is.
It's so much fun.
Kids will surprise you too. They're really older than what they appear in terms of wisdom, and they're just fun.
Their wisdom's high.
Yeah.
Intelligence is getting there.
Their dump stat is not wisdom.
There
Sometimes
you go.
it's charisma, but that's okay.
But that's okay. We'll work with it, definitely. Thank you so much for coming out. Go ahead and check us out on social media at The Expansion Pack, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.
Well, thank you. Absolutely. How did you get the gig? Because you're following in some footsteps